Sister Gerard Fernandez begins to sing How Great Thou Art as she entered the hanging chamber on the morning of Friday, November 25, 1988. The hymn was condemned inmate Catherine's favorite, and singing brought a sense of calm. It was also a way to show Catherine a final act of love during her last few moments of life. Sister Gerard turned her head away as the scene began to unfold in front of her. There was nothing to be gained by having this be her last visual of Catherine. She listened as Catherine walked up the spiral staircase to the platform, then a lock clicked as her hands were manacled behind her, a murmur as the executioner said something to Catherine as he placed the rope around her neck, the soft rustle of cloth as a white hood was pulled down over her face. For a long moment there was silence. Then Sister Gerard felt it in her body as the lever was pulled, the trapdoor opened. Catherine was gone. As a teenager, Sister Gerard felt called to help people. On May 19, 1956, at the age of 18, she entered the Good Shepherd Convent, a Roman Catholic order of nuns in Marymount, Singapore. After taking her vows, Sister Gerard taught primary school and worked with troubled teens. Eventually, she, along with two priests, founded the Roman Catholic Prison Ministry to work with drug offenders and other prisoners. In 1981, Singapore was shocked by the ritualistic murders of two children by self-styled medium Adrian Lim, his wife Catherine Tan, and mistress Ho Ka Hong. After a long, sensationalistic trial, the three were condemned to death. As it turns out, Sister Gerard knew one of the young victims. Her older sister worked at the school, and she also knew one of the murderers. Catherine had once been a pupil of hers. Due to connections through her prison ministry work, Sister Gerard was able to get permission to visit Catherine in prison with one caveat: Catherine had to want to see her. Sister Gerard sent Catherine a letter. It was over 6 months later before Catherine actually answered the letter agreeing for her to come. Soon, Sister Gerard was making weekly visits to Changi Prison, a high-security prison complex, to visit Catherine. She wasn't allowed to enter Catherine's cell, so during the half-hour visit, the two women would hold hands through the bars and chat or pray and sing hymns together. One day, Catherine asked Sister Gerard to hear her confession, which is when Catholics tell a priest their sins, express remorse, and ask for forgiveness. Catherine's demeanor began to change after that day. Over time, she found peace within her faith, and with Sister Gerard's help, she was able to reconnect with her father, whom she had been estranged from. All three prisoners were in solitary confinement, but Ho Ka Hong's cell was next to Catherine's, and she would eavesdrop during Sister Gerard's visits. Soon, she asked to see Sister Gerard too, and began her own spiritual journey. For nearly 7 years, until the women were executed in 1988, Sister Gerard made weekly visits to them. Adrian too began to receive counseling from Father Doro, who was involved in the Catholic prison ministry. Sister Gerard and Father Doro provided support to Adrian, Catherine, and Ho until the very end. The night before the execution, Sister Gerard Fernandez stayed up late praying for many things, including Catherine's soul and the grace and courage to support her tomorrow. Just before dawn, for the last time, she headed to Changi Prison to visit Catherine. Catherine had just finished her last meal when she met up with Sister Gerard. She had on a blue dress with a sash and matching shoes. She looked young and sweet. Sister Gerard was reminded of long ago when Catherine was one of her students with a potentially bright future ahead of her. Sister Gerard reached out and took Catherine's hand. It was cold. The two women held hands as they were escorted to the gallows. It was a final chance for a prayer and to say goodbye. Sister Gerard is now in her 80s and has slowed down a bit but still works with people. For 40 years, she volunteered counseling the prisoners in Singapore's prison systems. During that time, she's walked 18 prisoners to their executions. When asked why she spent so much time helping murderers and other prisoners, Sister Gerard says that her calling is helping broken people and that she wants to live up to the words of the foundress of her order, St. Mary Euphrasia, who said, "One person is more precious than the whole world." And now that you watched the end of our video, why not keep the watch party going? If you want to know the difference between an atheist versus an agnostic, boy do we have the video for you. And if you want to know about the terrible history of the death penalty, click this video.